When you're trying to deal with fret buzz on your guitar, there are some times where you're going to need to glue your fret down or take it out. Now, taking it out is a bit more complicated, so today I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide for how you can glue your frets. I'm Dave with Stringing It Together, and let's dive right in. So first I want to talk about when to glue your frets. So you only want to glue your fret if it's not seated properly. So a fret is shaped like a T. So the top part is the curved part, I guess. It's a curved T. And then underneath you have a perpendicular point with little barbs that stick out. Now those little barbs sit inside of a slot and bite onto the wood, if that makes sense. They're like little teeth that bite into the wood. Now sometimes if your guitar expands or contracts, that fret can then lose its grip and pop up, okay? So your first line of defense is always going to be a brass hammer, or if you don't want to learn how to use a hammer because it's just a bit of a learning curve, I have another video which shows you how to make a very easy to use tool called a fret setter, which will allow you to use a regular hammer and a little thing to hammer it down. One advantage of gluing your frets, aside from it being easier than taking it out and replacing it, and I'm sort of catering this to more of a regular guitar players who want to fix their guitar, is that if you think about the transfer of energy from the string onto the neck, if there's any gap between the fret and the wood, you know, maybe that slot is a little bit too low, then the energy, the vibration is not being transferred from here through to here. If you have a solid connection from here into the neck, which is then connected to your soundboard, arguably you're going to get a better sound. So in terms of what you need, you're going to need some super glue, obviously, but you don't want to just use any regular super glue that you're going to get at a hardware store, because it has to be super thin. So this stuff, you can maybe tell, it's like the consistency of water. Now the reason for that is because it has to go into the fret slot, and you want it to flow in there, as opposed to the more thick stuff. You kind of have to push it in there. I've tried to use it. You can use it in a pinch, but I'd recommend not doing it. I'll show you where I got this one. It was on Amazon. I think it was 20 bucks. And another advantage of that is this little attachment on the end that you can put on there, which will give you a fine nozzle to also save you from making a mess. Now the other thing you're going to need is some paste wax. Now that's something you can get in an automotive store, and this is a very big one. I think it was like 8 bucks. It's pretty cheap, and the advantage of buying a big one is that you can actually wax your guitars with it. You don't need to buy guitar polish. So some paste wax, and then you're going to need a clamp, a big one, enough to fit on the outside of the neck. So here's my high fret, and I've already gone through with the hammer and hammered it down, and I know that this one is not going to seat properly with the hammer, because when I press down with the fret rocker slightly, it doesn't rock. When I press lightly, it does rock on the ends here. So this is a perfect candidate for gluing. Now if you want to go more in depth with this, which I highly encourage you to do, then you can download my free mini course down below here called Foolproof Fretwork. That'll go through step by step everything that you need to know to diagnose the issue, fix the issue in a way that is catered to someone who has never done it before, and you can do it with mostly inexpensive tools. There's my plug. Okay, so you're going to need to make some kind of jig to glue that down. Now, I've made various contraptions over the years. A very simple one is just a radius sanding block. So it has a curve on it. Now this is for sanding down your fingerboard before you put the frets on when you're making guitars. And put that on there, and then clamp underneath and over top, and that'll hug the frets and press them down evenly. But it's a bit complicated to make a radius block without at least a router and making a specific jig for that. So for you, I'm going to suggest just finding a square piece of wood. So if you don't have the tools to make a square piece of wood, then you could buy some MDF, and you know that you have a square side, and you know that it's parallel. So that will work fine. This is just an old piece of maple that I had lying around, and I'll have to cut it up a little bit. So what you need to do is find the widest part of your fingerboard and roughly mark the size of it. You want it bigger is better than smaller. Okay, and then you're going to cut this extra bit off so you have a thing that is wide enough to cover the widest part of your fingerboard. Since your guitar fingerboard has a curve on it, a radius, you need to add something to the sides here. It's a lot easier than carving out a perfect radius that's going to fit your frets. So this method works just fine. So what I have here is a hacksaw blade. Now you can use this, or you can use some old used X-Acto knife blades will also work, but basically what you're going to do is break this so that it fits onto here. So right about there, okay? So that's going to fit on there, and then you need to make another one for the other side. So with your two blades cut, you're going to tape one on this side with this serrated edge out, flush with this side, and then the other you're just going to wrap tape around it. Fold it over the serrated edge. So the reason you have one side taped on and the other side loose is because you want to be able to fit the varying width of the neck. So you can have it up here, and you line the one side up flush with this side, covering the 3 frets, and then this one you can adjust so that it matches the curve of your frets, the radius of your frets. So there's going to be no rock on there. And it's also a good idea to do a dry run before you do any gluing, because it'll help you know whether it's seating properly, whether your clamp is going to work, and it's also good practice because you kind of want to work fast with the super glue. So hold it down, make sure that it doesn't rock. Put your clamp in the middle. I like to use this hand to hold it down after this point. Wait until this is touching, and then clamp it down. Inspect it, make sure everything's good to go, and then you're ready to glue. So I'm going to start with this one up here. I've already glued a couple up here, but had some technical difficulties, so I'm going to glue this one here. You want to make sure everything is ready to go. So you've got your glue with the nozzle on it, you've got your clamp, your little blade there, you've got your paste wax, everything's ready. So it's at hand, okay, because you want to work quickly. So your shop cloth, take that, rip off a piece, fold it in half. You could use a Q-tip or something too, but get a little dab on there, wipe off the excess, put it on the side of the fret. You want to use enough so it's filling the pores of the wood, but not so much that there's a bunch of extra there. And then it's a good idea to test how fast this is going to come out, because it does come out fast. You don't actually have to squeeze it, you just have to tilt it up. So you can kind of just use that curve there, tilt it back and forth. You can see it come out. Okay, there it comes. And you're just using the angle of it to let it out. Sometimes it does come out fast on you. But if you spill a bunch on your fingerboard, it's actually not that big of a deal. I'll show you how to clean it up after. So if your hands are all shaky like mine from your coffee, then that's probably going to happen. So there it comes. Oops. There you go. I'll have to show you how to clean it up. Okay, so I want to get it all the way in here. And then wipe off the excess. You can kind of see it sink in there. And yeah, I'm gonna have to clean that up because my hand shook and it flicked it over there. Okay, so you're gonna put this on here. It's a good example though. Line this up, make sure it's flush. Grab your clamp as you're holding it down, so that way you know it's not going to move. I like to put a finger down there on my left hand, tighten it up slowly but surely so it's not going to shift on you. And there you go. Wait for 5 minutes. Go make yourself a sandwich. Do what you need to do. A couple minutes, come back, take it off. So I'll show you how to clean this up. You need a razor blade and some steel wool. Now, you're going to be scraping this, and you're not going to be putting any downward pressure. The only pressure you're putting is to push it this way. Okay, so just very lightly grab it and scrape it along here. So you scrape towards the fret. Take your time with it. Don't try to get impatient and scrape it all at once. Steel wool, this will show you where there's still glue. So you can very clearly see, hopefully, right here, where there's still glue there. So if there's still a little bit here on the edge of the fret, then you're just going to rest this against the fret, and you're not pushing down, you're just going to go in sort of a circular motion along there, so you're not scraping into it. So you've gone through all your frets on this side of the heel, and now you have to do the frets on this side of the heel, if there's any high ones. So if you're going on this fret here, you're gluing down this fret, then you can stick a clamp underneath the bottom of the guitar here. There's a strong ridge there that you can use. Obviously you're going to have to use a piece of wood to protect your finish and put a cloth on top of it. For an electric, it'll be the same thing. You're just using the body of the guitar to sandwich it. And then on an acoustic, if you reach under here, you can feel that plate as I mentioned, and that's where you're going to be clamping to for these frets here. So you want to use a caul for underneath that plate there. And an easy way to do that is to use some blue painter's tape and stick it on there. You don't want to use double-sided tape because it can get really stuck on there. I've made that mistake before, way back here for gluing a bridge, and yeah, it was really hard to get off. Okay, so you're going to stick that underneath whichever fret you're doing, and then to do your dry run, just to make sure it's in the right spot, make sure it doesn't rock. Careful not to dent your soundboard, and you can sort of feel that caul there. Tighten this up. Make sure it's good. Now you're ready to repeat the same process. Alright, so you've done your dry run. Now I'll show you on this fret here. Basically just follow the same procedure. And again, don't worry if you screw it up. Get your paste wax on there. Test your nozzle, make sure it's flowing. Probably better to do it not over your guitar, but doesn't really matter. There you go, you can see it sink down in there. Wipe off the excess. Line it up, make sure it doesn't rock. Find that caul. So once you get comfortable with putting that glue on your fingerboard and cleaning it up, you'll realize that even though it's a bit intimidating at first, it's actually not that big of a deal. So don't forget to check out the link below for my free mini course called Foolproof Fretwork, start to finish, diagnosing your guitar, seating your frets, gluing your frets, leveling them, all in a way that you're not going to screw up. So check that out down below. Don't forget to hit subscribe, turn those notifications on, and stay tuned. I will see you next week.